Hey guys, how is everybody doing, honey? Let's jump into this video. I know I did a video yesterday on love and marriage, Huntsville, and I saw that you guys couldn't hear me. Now, the mistake that I made yesterday, I'm not going to do that today, is I was switching my mic, which means I had the mic clipped to me, but I was talking on that and then I would switch it to speaker. So it seems like what I did was when I was switching it, I wasn't doing it correctly and y'all couldn't hear me. So I'm not gonna do that no more. We just gonna stick with one mic because I was like, what are they talking about? But again, I was trying to be fancy. We gonna stick to what I know and stop trying to do so many things at once. Because what ended up happening is I was, trying to be fancy and switching that old microphone, honey, and y'all could not see. Well, y'all could see me, but y'all couldn't hear me. And I apologize for that because I was really into that video and I really, really don't like that y'all wasn't able to hear what I had to say. Um, so, anywho, we're going to get into Jamal Bryant because we're still talking about Jamal Bryant and, the dress. People are still talking about it, so let's get into it. Right here, the dress, which the dress is a beautiful dress. But again, people are saying, yeah, this ain't what the first lady should be doing. This ain't what they expect the first lady to be willingly out there giving people the illusion that she is naked. Okay, that's where the problem is. Now, this is a pretty dress for anybody that want to wear it, but for a first lady, not so much. Now, here's one of the things, too, guys, to think about as a pastor, to offer no explanation for this naked illusion dress, but yet to come out and try to um, pretty much drag your own church members and telling them they ain't never been nowhere and they stupid and they ignorant. That's that narcissistic behavior that y'all got to watch out for. All he had to do was say, we didn't think or whatever it was. But the fact that this man tried to justify what everybody saw and is truly wrong, it really shows you that this man is an attention seeker. And this was all done with much thought because it was meant to break the internet. And also, not to, say anything about his wife, because I don't want to say I feel sorry for her, but in some ways, I wonder, does this come from her childhood? Because I did see a video where she says, she was ARD, and it made me think that maybe that's why, she feels so sexualized. Because I'm just thinking, if you have been done that has been done to you by many people, you might start to think that. She said on an interview that she thought that there was something wrong with her because this had been done to her not by one person, but by multiple people. So she always wondered what was wrong with her. And it gave me the idea that here's the thing, when you are a child and you're young, it's hard to break that cycle of thinking unless you have some good therapy. So I was wondering, being that she had been sexualized at a young age, it could be how she feels that she should show up in the world. I'm not saying that, you're not supposed to be pretty and all of that, but y'all know certain stuff we wear to bring attention. Now, single women wear different things than married women, and preachers' wives should wear different things than both, because you are not only a married woman, but you're married to your husband, and somehow the church fits into that. Well, y'all want to get into this video because we're talking about this strip club pastor, Jamal Bryant, because let's not act like we don't know what's going on here, okay? Jamal Bryant loves this attention. This man is not stupid at all. And I found a man online that said that he is his cousin and he drags the entire hell drags him, okay, which granted so it's necessary. Well, here's the deal. Jamal Bryant loves attention. All of this, us talking about the dress, they knew that people was going to be talking about the dress before she put the dress on. Jamal Bryant is an attention seeker. He likes being in the spotlight. He likes being around celebrities. He's that type of person. He kind of reminds me of a thirsty opportunist. He's going to maneuver his way in every situation. He's going to use any information that he knows about something to benefit himself. Okay. That is what this man does. And listen, we're going to get into this interview.
What's up?
This interview right here, which I thought was really relevant. Now, one thing I respect about T.I. is he is who he is. He does not make any justifications for who he is, and I love it. Now, T.I. speaks on his experience at Jamal Bryant's church and compared it to your typical strip club. And when he said that, we know that everything that we're thinking about this Pastor Jamal Bryant, it's probably the truth because T.I. actually experienced it firsthand. Let's get into what he had to say.
I was at New Birth.
Oh, Lord.
I was at New Birth. What's up, Pastor Jamal? Mm-hmm. So I was at New Birth. I think Kanye was there.
I remember that. Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah. Kanye was there with Sunday service.
Yeah.
And you know when I went, you know, I see a lot of my contemporaries and constituents, a lot of my peers and predecessors, and so we go and we in the little back hall, and I hear them raising money right then. When I'm in the back, I say, I'm gonna stay back here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was me, 2 Chainz, Tamika, I think Dro was there, I believe. Bow Wow was there. Bow Wow was asleep, by the way. I'm gonna let you know that.
He was asleep at church.
Bow Wow was asleep. Yeah, Bow Wow was asleep. But anyway,
Bow Wow was sleeping at the church.
Yeah. He missed the whole thing. He missed the whole thing. I looked at him and said, that baby tired. But anyway, so, and you know, they was in Kanye, you know what I'm saying, when Kanye went out there, when we went out there. But then, I tell you, when I was in the back hallway, I heard him passing the plate around. So then, we waited till Ye said he was ready to go on that. So then we walked out, took our seats. Do you know they stopped everything?
Okay, pay close attention here because what T.I. said is he was back somewhere in the church, behind, or, how when you go to a church, you have the congregation that sits out there, but then back there is probably offices and all kind of stuff, all sorts of rooms. So what he was saying was he was back there, but if you guys have ever been, in a church, especially in the offices, a lot of times during the church service, they do have a speaker back there so you can hear what's going on. So what T.I. is saying, he heard them call for offering and he intentionally said, I'm going to stay back here because it looks like he was like, I'm not giving into your offering or whatever it is you're trying to get. I'm just going to stay back here because, generally if you stay back there, they do one offering, right? They're going to call for the offering, the building fund, the pastor's car fund, the pastor's new jet fund, the pastor's kids Christmas fund, all of these different funds that they have. So he said, listen, I heard them call for offering and I said, I'm gonna wait. So he waited, but get into what really happened for real.
To raise money again, passing the plates by, just because they saw that, you know how in the strip club, they hit the red light, let the people in the room know that the money's in the house. Amen. And
did he just compare Jamal Bryant's church to the strip club? Said the money is in the house? Oh, really?
that was a visiting pastor.
Oh, yeah.
It was a visiting pastor. See, now, Jamal, I'll tell you, he's smooth.
Jamal is smooth. Now listen, T.I. is from the streets. He knows when he see a slickster. He said Jamal is smooth, meaning Jamal is a slickster. Jamal knows how to con people. He knows how to read people. He knows how to use situations to get the money. Because what T.I. is saying is they called for the offering. He didn't go out. He didn't want to give it. Soon as he came out, guess what they did? They did it again. So what he's saying is Jamal thinks that he's slick, okay? So he didn't want to be the one to ask and continually beg and pandering for money. So of course he made sure he called his friend from another church. Get into what T.I. has to say.
Absolutely. You feel me? He's smooth, man. He's smooth. Because he wasn't going to get put out there and seen, you know what I'm saying, pandering or soliciting. No. He invited his fellow pastor from somewhere else to grab the mic and say, hey, get your prayers past the roof. Go on and put in there. You know, I think he said some money. I need $1,000. I need,
It was an actual amount.
Yeah. Wow. And
get your prayers past the roof. Give me $1,000. God said, if you want that new house, give me $1,000. So what he's saying is, Pastor Jamal Smooth Bryant did not want to make himself look bad. So he made sure he asked one of his friend scammer pastors to come up there and ask for the money. So T.I. saying, listen, when I went out there, although I heard these fools call for the offering, when I went out there, they called for it again. He said, Mr. Jamal is smooth. He's a smooth operator.
And so they passed it, and they passed me the plate. I passed it right on.
You did? You got to touch the plate and then pass it around.
Yeah, I put I put my hand on it and I say, Jesus paid for it all. And I passed it right on. She paid. She paid all my costs. You know what I'm saying?
But I can see, I understand.
But look, then it get back to Chains, and Chain get the digging in their pocket, putting out the back. I said, you better not put no money.
You told him that?
You better not put no money in there. He said, Tip, you can't tell me what to do. I go to church. I said, man, well, give me some. Give me some too then.
So did he put the money in the plate?
Yeah, man.
So, I mean,
he ain't give me none, man. He ain't give me none.
But you know what? It's unfortunate because I do see your point of view about that when it does turn people off. But again, like I said, it is unfortunate that it does turn people away from going to church.
Business and a show.
I know.
I get it. That's what I'm saying. I'm getting it. That's why I said it's unfortunate because it wasn't meant to be like that. But my grandmother, she would church going, but
my grandmama too.
Right.
That's where I learned it was a show.
Was it what?
It was a show.
Why? From your grandma?
Man, yes.
Why?
Man.
She had to put on a hat, the Sunday service hat.
And listen, T.I. is speaking nothing but facts. You know, we are living in some very serious, crazy times because, you know, we are categorizing church as a show. And I'm sorry, but that is what it has become. It has become quite the show. Now, y'all don't know, or this pastor at, you know, stillbirth, don't call it new birth, call it stillbirth. Y'all don't know what T.I. was coming to church for. You don't know what was on that man's heart, what was on his mind. But all you wanted from this man was some money. and he felt it as he was there. So it's not like this is something that didn't happen, or it truly didn't happen. This is what he saw, this is what he felt, and that people now are coming to the conclusion that I don't think it's such a bad thing, because you really need to know God for yourself. Because we got these old pimping pastors like Jamal Dirty Bryant.
Well, nah, I ain't saying you can. I mean, you supposed to get sharp and go to church. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Sunday is best, but the Lord said, "Come as you are."
Yeah, you're right.
If you just so happen to be in a hat with a veil and a tambourine with sparkly heels,
yes, sitting in the front row.
Yeah, you just so happen to be like you know, they didn't go like that.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm going in what I have. You know, I don't feel like I got to impress nobody, man. God see what's in me, not what's on me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's for humans. Yeah. But I will say, you've seen so many times, like it's a racket. It's a racket. Like if you failed in all other areas in life, let's just say if you just happen to have ran every last con you can, then go be a preacher.
Woo! And I think I agree. No, I do agree. Tip said, if you have ran every scam, if you have failed at everything, one thing you can do is be a pastor. Now, the part that y'all did not get the opportunity to hear him say is, you know, a lot of times, should I say a lot of times, or should I say sometimes? I don't know which word to use, but every pastor is not real. You know, everybody that stand up there and profess to know God don't. And this is why you need to know God for yourself. And you need to get into a Bible-based church, okay? That in a Bible-based church is a church that should be teaching you what's in the Bible. What this dude did, all I needed for him to do is find it in the Bible. He took the church's time to talk about a BBL in a dress that all he needed to do. I mean, if he was going to do that, he shouldn't just maybe not addressed it. But let me just tell you what Jamal did. His response to his wife's dress told more about him and who he was than we knew before he opened his mouth. When he opened his mouth to tell us about his wife's dress, in fact, he didn't defend his wife at all. He really told us who he was and what type of person he was. Because I don't know about y'all, but the relationships that I be in, they be like, why you want to wear that? Or don't wear that. They be telling you what you shouldn't wear, you know, because they really don't want other men to be looking at you. You know what I mean? But this man, alleged pastor, but he seems to be more like a motivational speaker, put his wife in a dress that gave the illusion of nudity, and y'all okay with that? You're okay with that? Tell me what was okay with that. So this man wanted other men to have thoughts about his wife. That is very, very, very weird. So this should tell you what type of person that he is, to put his wife out there in a dress. And also it tells you a little bit about who she is, that she wore the dress, okay? And didn't have a mind of her own to say, hold on, preacher, not today. That dress told more about who he was than who she was, okay? T.I. speaks on Pastor Jamal Bryant. This dude is money driven, and compared Pastor Bryant's church to a doggone strip club, y'all. Make sure you like the video. If you guys have not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so.
She don't miss nothing, got the scoop on lock.